All right, surviving the COVID. What's going on, people? How you guys been? Have you guys missed me? I'm sure some of you guys want to be dead, but nah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm feeling much better. I'm alive, and now I'm here to talk about my experience with the COVID-19, man. You know, I was one of those people that would. Well, first of all, let's say this: everybody has a different effect regarding anything, right? Whether it's the COVID, whether it's the flu, whatever it is, right? Whether it's a hangover. So, this I'm speaking on is from my experience, what I went through, how I felt, and how I got over it. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank my friends and family that were there for me, that helped me out, and pretty much, if I asked them to do something as far as getting me something to eat, my wife and I, they definitely did, and thank you guys for looking out. But the one that just helped me out the most and I couldn't do without was my wife, man. My wife is the backbone of my home. I love her to death. She's been with me for over 20 something years. Been with me during my best times, being with me during my worst times. This was definitely one of my worst health times I've had, I think, ever. And for that, babe, I love you. I thank you so much that you're in my life. And now we'll get this thing going. So I got COVID. It will be 2 weeks this Wednesday. I got it on a Wednesday. I felt it right away. I went to work and I don't know what it was. It just felt like a flu coming on, right? And right away I knew it. It was probably like around 8:30 in the morning. I told the guys at work, "Hey, stay away from me. I don't feel good." And I pretty much try to lay him out, say this is, what's going on at work, and I'm gone, man. I took off. Sure enough, by the time I got home, I was very exhausted and tired. That's the first thing you're gonna notice. You're getting tired, right? And then I started getting some pressure in my head. I went straight for the NyQuil. I looked at it like a lot of people do as far as the flu goes. I said, all right, well, it's gonna get me. I'll be out for a couple of days and I'll be back on track. I called my wife actually on the way home. I told, hey, I'm pretty sure I got the COVID. I'm gonna come home and crash out. I'm just letting you know that way you don't come in the room, and don't get it herself. And sure enough, I came home, got the Nyquil, drank it, crashed out, man. Wife came home, made dinner, took care of me. One thing that was funny with my situation was I not one time lost my appetite. And that's I believe that's a good thing because if you stop eating, you stop feeding the machine, which is your body, and your body's here trying to fight out this virus. So with me, I never, as a matter of fact, I was more hungry than anything else, which is kind of weird. So the first day, like I said, I slept all day, just got up to eat, crashed back out. The second day, I still got the same. It's just like it's not people think like it's congestion, but it was just much worse. It's just like a congestion mixed with a headache. It's almost like a real bad hangover, and I mean a bad hangover where you were drinking tequila, you were drinking beer, you were mixing everything. One of those nights you just party too hard and regret the hell out of it at a day. You think you had like one of those 2 day hangovers. Well, mine was more like about a 10 day. So the next day I felt a little bit of a fever coming on. I was taking Mucinex. I was taking ibuprofen. I was drinking lots of water. I was doing Pedialyte. I was staying hydrated, right? But that next night was probably one of the roughest for me. I remember staying up all night, and when I say all night, I mean all night. I think I woke up that day on a Thursday, probably like around 5:30, 6 o'clock. Right, ate dinner, try to do the same thing, take my medicine, and hope to fall asleep. But my body wasn't sleeping. It was on the contrary. It was like this thing was attacking my nervous system. I started getting back spasms. I kept getting pain in my ring fingers, and I mean like electric pain, where I'm doing this all night. I'm doing this. I'm trying to keep my mind occupied because of how much it just like shock going through my fingers. I stayed in the living room that night, and I don't know if any of you have ever had a real bad toothache where you could take codeine, you could take whatever pills, and it just doesn't go away. And you're like waiting to go to the dentist the next day. Well, that was what I was having, but it was in my head, in my back, in my fingers. And I literally was walking around my living room table trying to get tired. I was having restless feet, where my feet were kind of like jerking on me, right? And I didn't go to sleep. Like I said, I woke up around 6:30 that night, right? 6 o'clock. I didn't get to sleep until 5 in the morning the next day. That's just how bad of a shock sensation I was having in my ring finger, my legs, my arms were like just it was just some weird stuff. It was some scary stuff. I was twitching, but after that, I went to sleep at 5 a.m. I think I woke up around maybe 10 or 11, and that's kind of how it was for the next. By this time it was five, but by the next 7 to 8 days, because this thing pretty much kicked my ass for 10 days. I didn't really start feeling better until I got it on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that whole week until almost the next weekend, which was just a few days ago, right? So then I feel the fever break after the third day. And I didn't get a real high fever, which I was lucky. I probably at the very most hit like 100, 101. I had a temperature thing. But I still maintained a little bit of heat throughout, which was probably like at 99. So Wednesday, I'm out. Thursday, I'm out. That was Thursday was the one with the back spasms and the nerves. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm still like, dude, when's this thing going away? I think I finally called my doctor on Saturday or Sunday, and I let them know that I had the COVID. They asked me the typical, will you work outside? No, do you have a real high fever? I told them no. I had a little bit of a cough, but it wasn't too major. It's like, all right, you're kind of lucky. If anything changes, they told me to take Mucinex. They gave me the spray for congestion, and they said just get a lot of rest. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Okay, and you should be getting better. You should feel better by next Saturday, which was just 2 days ago. You won't be contagious anymore. You should be fine. Well, then Monday kicked in, Tuesday kicked in, Wednesday kicked in. Wednesday was the first full week, 7 days. I wasn't feeling any better, man. I was still feeling tired. The best way to explain it was like this: it's like you have your body's a rechargeable battery, right? Once I take my naps, I would wake up feeling not too bad actually. But about 30 minutes in, an hour max, ooh, the energy just goes down. The head pressure just starts kicking in. You just feel horrible. That's what you do. You just feel absolutely horrible. And I was going through that every single day. And I'm thinking, okay, today's the day I'm going to wake up feeling good. And it didn't happen. The next day, the days, and it wasn't happening. This was already 7 days in. And luckily on that, I believe it was on Wednesday, one of my doctors calls me and asks me if I would be willing to take this certain drug that they're giving people to help alleviate the symptoms of vaccine quicker, so I'd be feeling better quicker. And I said, absolutely, bro, absolutely. The name of it is Remdesivir or something like that. And I said, yeah, for sure. Sure enough, I went there. I believe it was a Thursday. 11 a.m. was my appointment. I go there and I'm expecting to take a vaccine shot, right? No, it was an IV treatment. It was an IV treatment. I told my wife it'll be an hour and a half, so she took off. They left me there. They hooked me up to the IV. They checked all my vitals. She checked my temperatures. You're a little warm. I said, yeah, I felt that. But I was at my wits' end, man. I was really at my wits' end because I was just tired of being tired of feeling sick. It was the world's worst and longest hangover, is I guess a good way to kind of explain it. And I mean, real bad. I did that treatment. It was an hour and a half. I want to say not right away. Well, when I got home after that treatment, some of the side effects were you may get a fever, in which I did. I felt myself probably within the next 2 hours of me getting home. I felt myself getting warmer right away, and I was like, "Oh man, I hope this fever doesn't have to kick in real bad." But the fever only kind of kicked in for maybe an hour and a half, and it wasn't too hot. Again, it was probably like 100, 101 at the most. Then it dissipated. The next day, which was Friday, which was now is 7, 8, 9 days, I finally woke up with some hope and said, oh my God, I'm finally starting to feel a little bit better. I think that night I actually said, oh, I'm feeling better. That it was like somebody opened up the screw and let that pressure out. And my body was actually getting a little bit of energy back in it, sustainable energy. Friday, for sure, I felt better. Saturday, I felt even better. Sunday, much better. Today's Monday. Today, I feel great compared to how I was feeling a week ago. I'm not 100% by any means. I still got a small cough. I just tested myself. I'm completely negative, thank God. But this was a very humbling experience for me. This was something that I've never gone through. Like I said, I believed like a lot of people did that it's just like a flu and it's not that big a deal. And I'm sure for some people it is. I went into this thing like Mike Tyson. The only problem is that I thought I'm gonna knock it out, but I fought Buster Douglas. And Buster Douglas knocked me the f out, man. That's exactly what happened to me. And now I am not vaccinated. Does this change my stance on vaccination? Yeah, I think so, man. I really think it does. I'm very glad and happy that my wife was vaccinated. She actually came down with a little bit of the symptoms, but she was never positive. She told me she had no the pressure and she's just getting better from that. So she was frontlining with me. She's healthy. My family's healthy. I said I'm feeling much better. I am. This is where I stand with that. I am not for a guy who will say you gotta have mandatory mandates for like police officer, teachers. I think to each his own, man. You know, if they have to learn the hard way, the way I did, then so be it. That's gonna be that's their life, you know, their body to do as they choose. Me myself, I will tell you that yeah, I definitely had certain regrets and and after seeing my wife not get it as being as close as she was to me, I gotta believe that that vaccination she has does help or does work. Uh, will I sit there and say you have to get it? Nah, everybody has their own choice, man. But this definitely puts a different spin on it for me. The COVID is a cold bitch. And the COVID is, people said, oh, you said the COVID wasn't real. No, I never said the COVID wasn't real. I still stand that the COVID will still, if you're somebody who has underlying conditions and are not healthy, really, you're superly overweight, yeah, you have a much higher chance of croaking straight up. And I think this should be an eye opener for people as far as getting healthier in life. You know, doing a little bit of exercise. You know, I was doing exercise, I was getting my wind up, and I figured I'll be okay. And I think if like you know how Joe Rogan had his 2 day thing after that came all right. I think if people had money and could get certain treatment like what I did after my seventh or eighth day, I think people will be much better off and would not have as much symptoms. But the thing is, we as regular people don't have doctors on standby to be able to give us the treatment that a lot of these rich people do. We're just regular folks, and they're gonna give us what they give us, man. But yeah, I survived the COVID. I see it in a different light. That's absolutely for sure. I'm alive. I'm healthy. I'm grateful, and that is it is what it is, man. But hopefully somebody can listen to this and you know maybe sway their mind a little bit one way or another. And at the end of the day, you know we're Americans. We're free to do what we want, what we choose for the most part, and it is what it is, people. I just want to say I'm back, bitches. I ain't going nowhere, and glad to be alive, Playboys. Catch you guys later. Bye.